What's up, YouTube? HPJ here, and I'm coming at you guys because we're going to be talking about 6 particular decks and archetypes that I played over the year. As 2019 ends and 2020 begins, I want to reflect on my year of Yu-Gi-Oh! And trust me, I've had some fun with the decks I've built over the years. And I've had some fun with the deck over the year in terms of what I played. So, when it comes to what's out now, honestly, just did not expect the deck to go from where it was to where it is now. So, I'm going to be taking a look at 6 particular decks right now, and I hope you guys enjoy them. So, without further ado, I'm going to break it up. And of course, we all know the first up is the Harveys for the new support from Legendary Deluxe Pack 4, Sisters of the Rose, and from Battles of Legends, Heroes Revenge. So we have Harpy Perfumer, Harpy Oracle, Harpy's Feather Rest, known in the OCG as Harpy's Feather Roosting, Alluring Mirror Split, known in the OCG as Split Mirrors of Seduction, Harpy Lady Elegance, known in the OCG as the Elegant Harpy Lady, and Harpy Conductor. Then we, of course, do have to bring up the Salamangreat. So we have Salamangreat Gazelle, Salamangreat Spiny, Salamangreat Jaguar, Salamangreat Circle, Fusion of Fire, Salamangreat Sanctuary, Will of the Salamangreat, Salamangreat Roar, Salamangreat Gift, Salamangreat Rage, Salamangreat Battle Links, Salamangreat Sunlit Wolf, Salamangreat Heat Leo, Salamangreat Mirage Stalio, Salamangreat Violet Chimera, and of course Salamangreat Almirage, which came also in Battles of Legends Heroes Revenge. So that is the lineup of the cards there. Then, of course, we move on. We got Fortune Ladies coming in Rising Rampage. Actually, the next few things are from Rising Rampage. We have Fortune Lady Past, Fortune Lady Every, Fortune Lady Calling, Fortune's Vision, and Fortune Lady Rewind. Then we move on to the Yosenju. Yeah, they got cards too. My Yosenju Hitat, Yosenju Sabu, Yosenju Izna, Yosenju Orochi Channeling, which is called in the TCG, and the OCG is called Divine Winds of Yosenju Mountain. Then we have Yosenju Wind Warship and Yosenju Sword Sting. Then, one of my favorite big birds, Samorg, got some support as well. We have Samorg, Lord of the Storm, Samorg of Darkness, Samorg Bird of Protection, Samorg Bird of Calamity, Samorg Bird of Darkness, Samorg Bird of Beginning, Elboras, the Sacred Lands of Samorg, Samorg Onslaught, Samorg Repulsion, and Samorg Sky Battle. Then we move on to the one that I didn't think I'd ever finish off here in the TCG, and I actually did finish it off, and that's the Sky Striker deck itself. Now, I'm not going to put every card for Sky Striker up here, but just for the key notes, we have Sky Striker Ace Ray, Sky Striker Mobilize Engage, Sky Striker Mech Widow Anchor, Sky Striker Mech Hornet Drones, Sky Striker Mech Moldus, Multi-Roll, Sky Striker Ace Shizuku, Sky Striker Ace Hayate, Sky Striker Ace Kina, and Sky Striker Ace Kagari. So that's pretty much these 6 of the archetypes index that I've made for the year of 2019. We got to go back up, of course, to the Harpy ladies. The Harpy archetype getting its OCG cards in Legendary Duelist Pack Sisters of the Rose, and the Link Monster Harpy Conductor in Battles of Legends Heroes Revenge was a great addition to the Harpy archetype. We got our new support, we got our new monster, and there were a lot of players in the TCG that did reasonably well in a lot of high events, especially both of the YCSs in Europe. In terms of the deck itself, I do understand a lot of Harpy players' concerns of, we have support for Harpy Lady Sisters. Why was there not a retrain for Harpy Lady Sisters? I think this was a perfect opportunity to give the Harpy Lady Sisters a retrain, or to give Harpy's Pet Dragon another retrain. And you could take advantage of having the full aspect of Harpy Perfumer, who's able to search for spells and traps with Harpy Lady Sisters in its name from the deck to the hand. Oracle to be able to retrieve them, in having the fluctuation of, if you need that additional level 5 or higher monster, you just had a retrain to do the same thing. Or someone who manipulated their own level to assist its Harpy can in that situation, just like Harpy Channeler does. But Channeler still needs a dragon. At least if the new monster came in, it wouldn't have to need so much regulation to take advantage of its effect. I do still think that the 6 new cards added to the TCG are great cards. Don't get me wrong. Some of them need a little more fixing than others. I'm looking at Oracle, who should have been on her normal accessible summon as an auto. I think that Alluring Mirror Split should have had a by battle and or card effect clause. And I think that to relegate Harpy Lady Sisters to being on the field for Harpy Lady Elegance isn't a bad thing, but a retrain was still needed. In terms of Harpy Conductor, I think she's a great monster, but she's more defensive than she is offensive. But as the saying goes, a great offense is a good defense. And if you can play a defensive game with Harpies, take advantage of it. And that's literally what these new cards do. Not to mention the fact that Harpy Lady Elegance and Alluring Mirror Split have that additional effect of, if they're destroyed by your Harpy card effect or your opponent's card effect, you get additional effects off of them. And that is such a game changer, because the only other card we had similar to that is Hysteric Sign. But that's a once per turn on its own effects. And you can only use an effect of Hysteric Sign once a turn. So to have both of these newer cards come in and have each of their effects being used within that turn simultaneously is great, because I don't have to sit there and question, do I want to blow it up or do I not want to blow it up, or should I blow it now and then get another one and then say, okay, let's ram my new Harpy let's ram my Harpy into a monster and then get a new monster on the field, because I can get that now through that. With Harpy Lady Elegance, I feel like it's just saying, let's turn these one Harpy Lady into 3. And that's literally how the show went, was it took Harpy Lady and it turned her into 3 due to Elegant Egotism. And I feel like that was also a missed opportunity, because none of these, like, I don't know, it's just, to me, it feels like if everything was going to fuck with Harpy Lady Sisters, there should have been more buffs to summoning sisters, or there should have been more buffs to putting sisters back onto the board. And at least having the comment that you print of her specifies she can be summoned through. She isn't just relegated to her first summon, or that she can be summoned through multiple ways outside of just her normal summoner set. If she said, I can't be normal summoner set, I can be summoned, I can be summoned through either a Harpy card effect or Harpy or Elegant Egotist, then it will work out great, because she can work well at Channeler and Channeler's effect. Because then you wouldn't have a dead draw. You'd have a freebie monster off of that, including Harpy's Pet. And I think people would have enjoyed that. But yeah, I mean, just looking at it now and just looking at the overall set, I think Harpy's biggest setup in Ace now at this point is just, we have what we need, let's utilize it. And the only thing to come next is if we get Harpy's Feather Duster. And if Duster does get unbanned, that's great. How would it probably won't affect much of our game style anyway, but it's just like, we'll at least have Duster. And we have a full range of every card in the Harpy archetype to be used. And it's been so long, 20 years. Come on, guys, just give us Duster. That could be nice. Alright, we move on from the Harpies, and we talk about one of the first of the competitive decks that I played in the game for the year, and that was the Salamat Great. This was a deck that, when I looked at it, I will honestly say this. I did not want to build Salamat Great originally. I ended up building it because I thought I was helping out a friend build his. And I honestly did fall in love with the deck the more I started testing it. And I did fall in love with this deck. Honestly, I think it's a really good deck. I do understand, a lot of the hits to the deck itself is just due to the fact that the deck is really good. I look at the Cyberse monster archetype. I look at Cyberse archetypes, and I feel many of them hit the nail on the chalkboard, and then I feel like some of them kind of missed it by a couple of inches. And with the range that this archetype goes, it has a fusion, a synchro, an exceed, link. No, it has a fusion, an exceed, a link, and links, and it has a ritual monster. Yeah, it has a ritual monster. I think it's Emerald Eagle. Yeah, Salamander Emerald Eagle. And the thing about it is, although a lot of the other cards in the archetype are not as good as what we've seen play, a lot of the interaction with this deck is that it took advantage of being a Cyberse deck and it took it to a new level. And that's what a lot of people were hoping for and wanting for. And it gave monsters like Lady Debug a chance to really shine out, because I feel like she wasn't shining out where she was at that point. Where she is now, even though she's at 1, I think she's still a great resourceful monster. And with a lot of the new Cyberse cards coming in, it's going to be very confusing to see, okay, will they do the Shadows to her? Or will she go the way of Shadows? Which I think, honestly, at a point, can only make her get better. Or they just print another version of Lady Debug that just does her job but better. Or stigmas to her job. Also to note that when the Salamander structure deck came out in TCG, people were worried that we weren't going to get Ash Blossom and Joyous Springs. And my thing about it is that just how I look at the Shaddoll structure deck with Feather Duster is, I think Konami is going to say we're going to unban Duster and give you guys Duster. What they'll take out, we don't know. But I don't think it'd be fair to take out Duster and then troll us home for this point. Because we're also looking at the structure deck coming after this, and it's supposed to have, I don't know if we're getting it or not getting it, but one of them's supposed to have Max C. I think it's the Warrior R structure deck that comes out before the Machine structure deck. And the Warrior structure deck is supposed to have Max C in it. And people have been questioning, okay, well, if Duster's first, then Max C, then insert random band card here. And I'd love to see I think Maxi coming back would probably just be a good FU to Fantastical Dragon Phantasme, because it's still like it's still like $90 to $100 for no reason except for the one mechanic that is supposed to help, quote, follow. Is going to be pretty much null and void for most of its assets, because Master Rule 5 is going to pretty much say, well, Fusion Exceeds and Synchro monsters can hit the board and don't need a Link monster to do such. So at that point, well, let's make Fantastical Dragon Phantasme completely useless, except for decks that do want to link summon or use link monsters with a massive link rating. Then in that point, well, what other card can we combat most decks with that's still a hand trap that can take some void? And that's Max C. The problem is the TCG can abuse Max C. And we've seen this happen, because we still have Daigusto Emerald. And everybody knows what happens with Emerald. So, I don't know. I'm still on the fence with it. But I'd like to see Feather Duster get reprinted. That's all I'm saying. And then unbanned. Maxi can do whatever they want to with Maxi. But when it comes to just looking for Salamander itself, I think this is a deck that can still stretch itself. You do need Signet Minings, and you do need Flame Buffalo to really make this deck hit its edge. But I really haven't seen it like in the TCG as much as I has seen it before, but that's just due to a lot of the newer stuff coming out, and with the way Orcs and Sky Strikers are going, maybe Salamander can sneak back in, but like I said, that's a time will tell situation depending on what the list will look like when it comes. So that is it for this. Then we move on to, I believe it's the Fortune Ladies. Oh, yes, it is. This is the Fortune Ladies. So, Fortune Ladies in Rising Rampage, because that's where the next 3 decks are coming at us from. Rising Rampage was the set that people were very iffy about. I wasn't iffy about it, because 3 of the archetypes in it are decks that I play. And After 10 years of not having a tuner and a synchro, Fortune Ladies finally got that in the form of Fortune Lady Pass, Fortune Lady Every. We got a special summon support card in both Fortune Lady Cat Calling and Fortune. Hold on, my camera's a little off. There we go. And Fortunately, Calling in Fortune Rewind. And then, of course, we ended up getting our own Tanky in the form of Fortune's Vision, which also is funny enough because this card has defensive capabilities as well. When cards you control are banished, your monsters can't be destroyed by card effects until the end of the turn. Then its other once per turn effect is that the next battle damage you take if your opponent's card is banished becomes 0. Then you have the effects of Fortunately Pass that banishes cards, Every that banishes cards, and you have a Rewind to summon banished Fortune Ladies back to the field. So it's a big mixture of everything. I'm also enjoying the fact that Fortune Lady Calling is going to be a little more broken than it is with the new Master Rule because of the fact that, well, we don't have to rely on Link monsters to specify the board for our synchros. So I think my whole game plan might completely change with the Fortune Lady setup. The Fortune Lady engine. I honestly think Master Rule 5 is really going to change up a lot of the older decks that had to be forced to use Link monsters, and they don't have to anymore. Which is great. You can just option to put Link monsters in your deck. I might just kick out all the Link monsters and put in nothing with synchros and just, go from there with the synchro setup. And not really care about all these links and all these crazy link mechanics that forced decks to have to run them. And I think with the new Fortune Lady support and what it has overall, I think it was a great inclusion. 10 years late, but 10 years in the waiting. And 10 years in making, I think the new assortment of monsters is great. And I'm glad we fortunately have a boss monster, they have a tuner, and they have some support cards to support a lot of the big gameplay that the Fortunately's are known for, which is the banish mechanic. Or as it used to be called when they came out, the remove from play setup. Or the remove from play mechanic. Just to add a note to it, of course, is just Fortune Lady Water, Fortune Lady Wind, Fortune Lady Light, Fortune Lady Water, and Fortune Fairy Hikari. The only reason why Fortune Fairies didn't make this is just simply due to the fact that I've only focused on Fortune Lady. I don't mind the Fortune Fairies, but I think the Fortune Fairies are very gimmicky in the fact that if you wanted a decent spellcaster archetype, you have Endymion, you have Fortune Lady, you have Witchcraft, and you have the Mystical Beast. No, you have the Pendulum. You just have a lot of other spellcasters you can really just focus on. If you really wanted to focus on that, I think in terms of just being a gimmick, it's not bad. But I feel like it's not really much needed effort to put into the Fortune Fairies unless you want to relegate to playing a Fortune Fairy deck, which isn't too hard. It's just kind of it's a meh situation with the Fortune Fairies. I think the only good one out of it is Fortune Fairy Hikari. And that's just literally because of her setup with the Fortune Ladies. Primarily Fortune Lady like in past. Alright, so we get the fortunes out the way. Let's move on to the Yosenju. And this was a big disappointment for me with the Yosenju. Because for me, the Yosenju focused on beatdown. And even though I get its pendulum, but I feel like the pendulum just kind of kills it. And I think it being anti-meta and it focusing on a Beast Warrior setup is a great idea. Luckily enough, we're getting the Beast Warrior setup in the next set. But I'm sorry. I just was so disappointed in the new Yosenju stuff. I was also upset that they changed Yosenju Oishi channeling from its original name, which was Yosenju was Divine Winds on Yosenju Mountain. And there was nothing wrong with the artwork or the name, but if that was the whole issue of it having to deal with censorship, it's kind of stupid. Because you have Divine Wind in the Mist Valley. You could have just you could have called it Divine Wind. Or you could have did with Masquerade Kamikaze. It just changed his name. I think out of all of these, in terms of what I've used, if I just rebuilt Yosenju, it'd just probably be Isna and Sword Sting. Just because of the focus that they have for the deck. Other than that, Sabu is pendulum based. Hitat relies on his pendulum, and Yosenju channeling is only credence for what's it for the pendulum setup for Shinichi LNR or Senshi LNR, and I really don't care too much about Whirlwind. I really don't. I think that was just a waste of space there and bad draw card. So yeah, that is it for them. Yeah, because I can really move through the Yosenju like that. It was not that hard. Then on terms of the next set of monsters, Samorg getting an archetype. And Samorg's strongest set now is to focus on the tribute summons for winged beast monsters with high level. The only thing that I have to say about this, honestly, is let's look at the new Yosenju. The new Samorg birds. Then we take a look at the old Samorg birds, the good ones anyway. And we take a look at all of the support. Great combination right there. You splash yourself in another big bird like Miss Valley Apex Avian or Ryza, the Mega Monarch, and you have a pretty solid setup. The big downside to this is I wish they included some more dark monsters for Samorg, because Samorg isn't just a winged beast. You have dark winged beast for Samorg. I think the OCG cheated them out of a lot of their support there. Although I didn't mind them reprinting. Honestly, the biggest downside is, why is this monster not reprinted? We cannot find some more Bird of Industry anywhere but from what is it? Light of Destruction. And it's rare to even find those copies. And I think honestly it just was a missed opportunity. If not make it a common, at least make it a rare. Make it a super. To at least bump it up. And I feel like that was a missed opportunity. None of the other birds were printed in the OCG for some work. They just replaced it with a lot of here and there win support. Or quote win support. Just like a tribute stuff. But if that's the focus of it, then you could have gave them more better setup for that. Although I do like the additional effects of the Samorg cards. If they're in the graveyard, you can banish them, reveal a winged beast monster, and then your winged beast in your hand drop one level with the same name as the monster revealed. So it helps out there. You have a boss of a field spell for tribute some of the winged beast monsters. And you just have a lot of good synergy with them. You have Repulsion, which is a one-sided true nade. You have a Search and a Foolish Burial and Onslaught. And Sky Battle's okay. Well, actually, no. I feel it's a bad Ring of Destruction. But Bird of Beginnings, Bird of Calamity, Bird of Bringings are not bad themselves. And even Bird of Protection can be useful at a point in time. I think the two biggest birds to look at are Samorg Lord of the Storm and Samorg of Darkness, which I feel are great cards. And I honestly cannot wait to want to rebuild this again, because I do have some ideas for this. The only downside is I wish we had got our Link Monster, Samorg Bird of Kings, and that card is awesome. It is an awesome card to associate with Samorg, and I cannot wait for 2020, because hopefully we get it then. But alright, we leave Samorg and we leave my affection for Barrows to go on to the last of the decks that I played. And one of my biggest upsets at regionals in Sacramento, because I wish I had played this instead of Harpy, which was a fully built out Sky Striker. And even though Sky Striker is tier, I wish I had played this instead. I love Sky Striker. I've fallen in love with Sky Striker when I couldn't afford Sky Striker. When I could afford Sky Striker, Sky Striker aces. When I couldn't afford Sky Strike, I was happy. And I honestly just feel like it was a missed opportunity. And my biggest regrets of the year was not to go into this and play this like I should have. And I kind of think I would have done a lot better. I do enjoy Sky Striker. I think with the newer support that's coming, I do hope it gets a lot better. No, it's already good. And I think it's going to get better. And even if some of the cards get hit again, like if we lose to engages, I think at a point where we'll probably see a lot more strategic setups there. I mean, we've seen Demise Sky Striker work well. We've seen Orcos. We've seen this deck splash into various things. We've seen its engine splash into various things. And I think at most point we will see this deck evolve and we will see this deck grow. And I think honestly I'm really excited for this deck, and I do like this deck overall. And I'm just excited to be one of the many who get to play it. Even though I only playing it now because of reprints and cost drop. That's literally why. Because I picked up a good core of it for 30, and I'm not ashamed to say that. But yeah, I'm really excited about this, and honestly, that just ends it here for everything in terms of the overall setup of 2019. So I just want to thank you guys so much for all of your support. I really do. And I just want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for all of that, for all the amazing support you guys have been given. I will catch you guys in 2020 for more videos, more deck profiles, more stuff to come with the channel, and the 10-year anniversary technically begins. So thank you guys. I will catch you guys as soon as I can. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and let me know how your year in Yu-Gi-Oh! Went for 2019. Thanks everybody for watching. HPJ signing out. Happy New Year.